Greetings, everyone. Hotep. Hotep is a greeting that's an Egyptian greeting that simply means peace be unto you. I'm going to make this real quick. This is one of my shorter videos. In light of certain things that's been going on around the country as far as the so-called controversy with the American flag and the national anthem, the mass shootings, the way our people are still being played, and we think that we're doing something because we got maybe a house or a car or a degree. Real quick on that American flag thing, that doesn't include you. I'm going to say some things to some people here that's not going to want to hear it or that's going to disagree. I don't really care. I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm trying to be truthful and honest. The person that wrote that song, he didn't include you. As a matter of fact, if they played the whole thing, he actually was advocating slavery. Okay. So if you think that that was for you and you idiots want to keep standing up proclaiming that that's you, then so be it. You keep being ignorant. Because if that flag was so united, as they say, then why are you still being called an African American or black or a minority? A nation of people is all one. Not only that, but it's taken away from the focus of what really Kaepernick was really talking about. He was talking about the continued systematic police brutality that's plagued us since we've been here. There's a thing called the Casual Killing Act that came out in the 1600s that basically said if a slave owner, or anybody for that matter, injured a slave while they were correcting them, listen at the word carefully, correcting them, then there was no malice, which meant you did not have to be prosecuted because number one, they didn't consider you human then, and they don't consider you human now. And the way some of us act, we don't consider ourselves human. So there are a lot of things that we need to get together, people. If you look at what happened yesterday with the gentleman that set off that truck bomb in New York that killed those people, as tragic as it was, they labeled him a terror. Why? Because he was claiming ISIS and he wasn't from here. I understand he may have had a green card. But just a few weeks ago, the Caucasian guy in Las Vegas killed much more than that and injured damn near 500. But that wasn't a terror act. So now they want you to believe that every person that comes from another country that might be Muslim or melanated, which is us, because we're not black or African American, they need to watch them. But the same narrative doesn't apply to those Caucasian guys that go shoot the theater up, that walk into a school and shoot a school up. Okay, but it applies to everybody else. So if that's the case, we need to be pro-racial. We need to be profiling every clean-cut looking Caucasian guy in a suit. Those are the bankers that rip you off, the politicians that rip you off, the business owners that rip you off. And they do that every day. So how come we're not pulling them over saying, excuse me, are you a banker? Are you a loan institution that took advantage of folks trying to buy a house? And don't tell me about your PhDs and your master's degree, brothers and sisters, because you're ignorant too. They're not concerned about you. You're like those ball players or those actors or those actresses. You're safe with them. Okay, but brothers like me that want to be conscious, that challenge them when in court and other things, they have a problem. Then they want to deal with you. They're not concerned about the athletes because they're safe. They're not concerned about the actresses and actors. They're safe. They don't care that you got a PhD. All you are just another higher paid slave for a company. We teach our children, go to school now, get a high school education, go to a for-profit white college and go work for somebody that don't even look like you, don't care about you. Now, I'm not telling people not to get an education. So that's the first thing folks are going to say. All I'm saying is that if you're going to get one, use it right. Bring it back to our communities. Let's start some businesses. I'm not saying I'm the perfect father, the perfect brother, the perfect businessman. I've got my flaws as well. But I'm not going to be taken advantage of by a system that's been taking advantage of us for years. And those of you that think you got something, wake up. They had a thing called the Headright system in the 1600s. Number one, let me tell you how we got here. There's a thing called the doctrine of discovery. It was a decree that was issued by the Pope at that time. Constantine was one of them. And anytime the Pope issues a decree that he wants to make law, public law, it's called a papal bull, B-U-L-L-S. P-A-P-L, P-A-P-A-L, B-U-L-L-S. It's called a papal bull. So he decreed at that time that we want to conquer the world. So what he did was send his explorers out with this doctrine of discovery and stated that if you basically come across any lands that's already inhabited, that's why it makes Columbus's theory null and void. Then we want to spread Christianity. Because believe me, folks, the rest of the world wasn't studying that besides the Europeans or the people that were in control, like the kings and the popes. So when they landed here, they were looking at people. That papal bull basically said, we're going to take your land. And not only that, they told the natives, once we conquer you, you're not even allowed to trade with other foreign nations anymore. And if you don't want to study Christianity, guess what? We're going to enslave you or kill you. And look at where our natives are now. They're on reservations. Same thing with this immigration nonsense. You have a right to travel. This land that we live on, and I'm not talking about just this country, you have a right to go anywhere you want to go as endowed by your creator. That's why that immigration stuff is just BS. California, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, all those places was inhabited by those people that Trump want to build a wall to keep from coming across here. And let's get this right too. Even my own family members. Oh, we need to let that go because that was a long time ago. No, they were killing you then in the street, and they're killing you now in the street. They were taking jobs from you then, they're taking jobs from you now. They were denying you public access to things, they're denying it now. So tell me what's changed. But back to this building the wall, let's just say, well, first of all, we as melanated folks, we don't run nothing anyway. On the eve of the Civil War, it was a little over 4 million of us in this country. There were 200 some thousand of us that were free. We owned 1% of 1% of one half of the wealth in this country. That's nothing. Fast forward that to 2017. Those same numbers still exist. On the eve of the Civil War, 51% of us was incarcerated. Fast forward that to 2017. Same number. So for those of you that think you have advanced, yeah, you may have a decent job, a nice car, a nice house, but we haven't advanced together. So, and for those of you that think civil rights don't get you a damn thing, the politicians don't even pay attention to you unless you got money. And those of you that vote, I feel sorry for you. I've never voted a day in my life. And I'm talking for people that look like me. What I want to turn to some benevolent person in office for, and look up the word benevolent, people. That's basically somebody that's going to give you welfare, give you things. That's a benevolent person. Somebody in office that's going to promise you something but not deliver. and you wear your badge. I voted today. I want to slap you in the face for real. Look out for your own people, right? I'm not going to stay very long on this one because I got plenty of them coming to you. But look at the head right system, which basically gave the European head of the household at that time in the 1600s, hey, if you make your way over here, we'll give you 50 acres of land free. Abraham Lincoln, the Homestead Act, millions of acres of land. How much do you own today? So for those of you that think, well, you know, all our problems was over, everything is different now because Obama was in office. Obama was selected, people. He wasn't elected. And I'll tell you about that agenda too. He was in office. It was more of us getting killed on the street, more of us losing jobs, everything. He didn't change anything because he couldn't. We have to change it together as an entire race. Those of you that vote just like Malcolm, you're a chump. Not only that, but you're a traitor. I'm going to go a little bit further than that. You're stupid. We put people in office that say they're going to do something. They can't. They're not going to do it because they can't and they won't. And the Democrats know they got all of you so-called black folks, because that's not who you are. Our children don't respect you because they look at you like you're ignorant too. We're not teaching them anything. So I'm going to leave it with that. I got some other stuff for you. Like I say, I'm not the end all be all. You don't have to accept what I say, but study for yourself. Have a good day.